continue to tangle, and it is an Alexandra throw deep from the left. Last year, these two teams met in the secondary school league at Spitestone, and St. Leonard's went down 2-0 very early, but they seemed to recover and eventually won 3-2 with that important goal coming from a player who's absent today due to a tryout at Manchester City, Deshaun Howell. So St. Leonard's will be missing his experience in midfield and up front. St. Leonard's try to build again down the left. Ball is second by Miller. His attempt to find a pass was intercepted, and the pace of the game is moving quite quickly as the boys were eager almost a half an hour ago, but due to a failure of a referee, or the attendance of a referee, we had a delayed start. 3 minutes in, Alexandra clears their line. Ball bounces in midfield. Moore tries to settle, finds his midfield partner. Attempted pass through the center, intercepted. Time on the ball goes to the left, and that appears to be a throwing for the defending champions deep in the opposing half. Alexandra playing 2 games, drawing 1 and winning 1 against Harrison College in their first match. St. Leonard is winning both of their matches. They're currently second behind Leicester-Vaughan, who have played the game more, and Leicester-Vaughan lie on 7 points. St. Leonard's with a dangerous free kick from the right, and if this is being taken by Niall Reid-Stephens, the goalkeeper can expect some action because this guy has perhaps one of the better left feet in perhaps the Caribbean at his age. Only, I believe, just recently turned 15. He's capable of finding the back of the net or accurately finding the teammate to put the ball in the back of the net. Referee, who was coincidentally coach of the St. Leonard's boys team, Fabian Messiah, marks the designated amount of space from the ball, and we await the swinging free kick from the left boot of Niall Reid. There's movement in the box. Grant raises his hand, indicating where he wants the ball. Easy claim for Newsom, who's trying to clear his lane so he could reverse the pressure. Finds Ty Moore on the left with a heavily bandaged left knee. Very technical player, leaves 2 players on the floor. However, good pressure from the St. Leonard's team forces him backward. A missed time pass. There's room and time for Reid on the ball, who fires, but his shot goes high and not at all handsome. And it will be a goal kick for the Alexandra Secondary School. Alexandra would need to be wary of giving Niall Reid that type of room, especially on his left foot, because with the accuracy and power which accompanies that left foot, at any given time, the ball could be found in the back of the net. Newsom goes long with his goal kick. Attempted flick on by Moore. Ball settles in midfield. Javi, who miscontrols. There's time on the ball, but the Alexandra player is crowded out and eventually wins the free kick in the middle of the park. So far, St. Leonard seems to be the more eager of the two teams, getting to the ball first, trying to win the ball, hit the field, and what that does is that it gives them the opportunity to create more goal scoring opportunities closer to the opposing goal. But at this point, Alexandra will look to reverse the pressure with a lofted free kick deep into the area. Trouble and an unorthodox save by former Alexandra goalkeeper, now St. Leonard's custodian, Bradley Medford, who seemingly had no clue, but at the end of the day, the goalkeeper did his job, which is provide a save to keep his team in the game. Foul by the forward. Again, gives the center back, trying to make the number, gives him the opportunity to, again, put pressure on St. Leonard's with another direct service into the penalty area. This time, danger averted temporarily from St. Leonard's. Time on the ball. Finding a pass. Sahels, good composure. Good play in the midfield by St. Leonard's. They're known to be a very technical team. I must give credit to Coach Messiah, who has put a lot of work in with this team and usually ensures that his team possesses the ball and uses the ball to basically to effective stage. St. Leonard's wasting a relatively good opportunity to get on the score sheet, but Jadad Ford, that's Ford who's Ford's in swinging corner, didn't finish with a profitable result for St. Leonard's. Ball goes out to play on the right hand side. That's like Chandler with the ball in his hand, or just helps his teammate to retrieve the ball. Throwing ball goes into Rollins. Another very good technical player plays the ball in the midfield very quickly. Intercepted by Moore. Another battle in midfield. Uh, there's a pretty good tussle in the midfield. St. Leonard's midfield 5 versus Alexandra 3. We do apologize for the breakage in audio. However, the football is of a decent standard, so I hope that provides a relatively good substitute. However, we were St. Leonard's again, trying to get a couple passes in midfield. This looks like a break for Alexandra 1v1, and what seems to be a reckless challenge by Captain Keneal Rowe, which is below his standard, what we would call a veteran in this league. He's now, I believe, in upper sixth form at St. Leonard's School, and he's one who had a fantastic season in his debut year for St. Leonard's, coming over from Alexandra. Yes, another Alexandra boy at St. Leonard's. He was part of the successful team last year, which won they were the double crown winners in the under 19, winning both the league and knockout. And he has now put his team in a spot of bother with a free kick from the right hand side, about to be taken by young Andrea Clark. That's away by Chandler. However, he returns. He receives the favor again, but I imagine that looks like poor footwear or a patch of grass which has been cut too low by the groundsman, which leaves Chandler flattening on his behind. But the throw is going with Alexandra on the left hand side. Alexandra with possession. Time on the ball, a good turn, and that looks like another reckless challenge, but no says Messiah. Ball is building on the left with Jidad. Time on the ball, and the referee stops the game temporarily for what was seemingly an injury to an Alexandra player. We're trying to identify that player right now, but, what we can say is after 11 minutes, the score is still locked 0-0 at the moment. Alexandra perhaps causing the greatest scare of the game so far with the attempted header from the Alexandra forward, which was blocked by custodian Bradley Medford. Oh, as we break for treatment to the injured player, the Division 1 standings read currently Leicester School on top with 7 points from 3 matches. St. Leonard's 6 points from their 2 matches. Alexandra lie third with 4 points. Combermere, they're fourth with 3 points. Barbados Community College, 2. Foundation and the Lodge School both have 1 point. Queens College and Harrison College, they too are locked on 0. St. Leonard's with possession again. Ball with national left back, Jaden Miller, who finds Grant, who finds Stevens, receives the ball again. James attempted control, but missed. Time on the ball with Rollins, who's showing tremendous composure on the ball, I must say, showing his experience. Miller again, plays the ball into midfield. Stevenson's attempted ball for Ford winds up outside, and it's a throw for Alexandra deep into their own half on the right-hand side. Alexandra have failed to get the feet settled and find that passing rhythm that they can basically destroy the opponents, but somehow against St. Leonard's that nervousness seems to take place, and they often go into a kickball style of play. Ball with Miller, finds Stevens. These boys have a very good relationship, both Stevens and Miller. They both represent pro shotters at the club level, and that's a foul on Stevens. Miller will be looking to use the intelligence of his left foot to find a head or perhaps cause some kind of trouble for Alexandra for one of his teammates to get on the end, but I'm sure he won't be trying to score from here. Ball whipped in. That's well played by the Alexandra defense. Again, Ford, who is having a shocker at the moment, needs to settle. I imagine if Coach Messiah has chosen to put him on the field, he's one that could suitably do the job, so he just needs to settle and find his feet. Get the right type of service. Newsome again looking to go along. Looks up, he settles. And that's a decent kick. Well, one in the midfield again by St. Leonard's. And that's a high boot call by referee Messiah. Ball for Alexandra again. Perhaps they could use the height of one of their center backs to push forward, but what looks like their tallest player on the pitch is about to loft the ball into the box. That's number 19, Russell Taylor. On ball into the box. Tussle. Seems to get it away again. And that's well claimed by Newsome. Again, he goes long. I think what he needs to do is consider the tactics of his long kick. He has almost half his team close to him, and he's punting the ball deep into the St. Leonard's area. And there's one Alexandra forward opposing to perhaps 3 or 4 St. Leonard's defenders. So he will perhaps need to rethink or encourage some kind of urgency by his players to get forward to put some pressure on the St. Leonard's defense. Again, St. Leonard's dominating possession as they should at home. As a throw by Jaden Miller from the left-hand side, ball goes into Reid. Miller finds the front. That's away again by Alexandra, who seems just contented with defending and lofting the ball out and giving up possession. And St. Leonard's are more than happy to receive possession and go again. St. Leonard's are masters on this field, on a relatively small field, similar to what Highbury was, reminiscent to English football. A slide by Reid. Good ball in by Miller, but danger is averted again. Reid settles. Again, he finds possession by Jadad, by Ford, who is offside again. Ford, he seems to be a bit nervous, perhaps, but he's not having one of the better games for St. Leonard's, and he will need to perhaps settle and focus mentally so that he doesn't suffer being on the substitute bench in the second half. A slip by Alexandra. It seems like the surface is causing problems for both teams. Perhaps the grass is a bit too low, or perhaps the inappropriate footwear is being adorned by the players, but it seems like footwear is a problem. Reid, who has a relatively long throw, perhaps would like to use this as a potential goal threat. Ball goes in, flick on, and this could have been the opening goal, but that header goes wide by Grant. Alexandra, who are known for more their attacking approach of football. What we've seen here this evening is a B plan or plan B by Coach Carbon, where he's looking to hit them on the counter. So some again looking to go along, and that header is one in the midfield. Again, St. Leonard's dominating possession. Flick on into the midfield. St. Leonard's let the build and come forward. Time on the ball. Chandler, who's not short on confidence, and Alexandra would do best if they could prevent him from weaving his way into the penalty area, because this is a player who scored 26 goals in school league only 2 years ago. So he's a player who can find the back of the net at any given time. Alexandra, time on the ball, space in behind the left wing back. Again, the Alexandra player falls on the deck. He's looking to find, and to me, I don't think that ball was off. That should be a free kick by any standard for the Alexandra school team. There by the referee, so he does the right thing. It looks like a drop ball, two teams tussle. Referee Messiah found an infringement. I imagine the ball didn't bounce. And in these circumstances, when there's a drop ball, the ball must hit the surface before you tussle for it. That seems to be a legitimate play. Again, lofted into the Alexandra team. Also held in the midfield, but there's no movement at top. The forward seems isolated, and he's walking across. He's basically in front of the centre back, which makes it quite easy to be marked. That ball in behind, and what looked like danger was partially saved by Medford, and the ball goes out for a throw. Sandra's best opportunity seemed to be coming from kicks and the throw-ins, and giving up possession. That may be an obvious tactic by Coach Carbing. However, he would need to nullify the attacking threats of St. Leonard's, who are capable of scoring at any given time. Let's not forget they just came off a 5-0 victory over the Lodge School, which was played at Lodge on Monday with 5 different goals scored. So that says a lot about the quality of their attack. Alexandra with the corner. St. Leonard's will be wary of this, especially with the height of the Alexandra players and what looks like some bit of nerves by Medford. He doesn't seem a bit comfortable, perhaps playing against some of his old colleagues. Have a bit to play. Ball lofted inside. Not the most threatening corner. It was played a bit too far away from the goal, but they will look to go again. Ball cleared by St. Leonard's. This looks like danger. Ball played down to the left-hand side, looking for Grant, using his pace. And that ball is the ball is in. And well played by Nico Blackman. Protects his goalkeeper, but at the same time giving up the corner to St. Leonard's. So St. Leonard's have changed corner takers. Ford is being replaced by Chandler, number 10, national and the 17 forward. His corner looks like a dangerous one into the back post. And an attempt to, what seems like a bit about of madness, the corner found number 8, I believe, looks like Rashad Phillips. And I imagine if Coach Messiah had a yellow card, that would have been an action meriting a yellow card. He mistimed the header, and instead of using his foot, he used his arm, and that could have been at most a red card, but I believe it deserved a yellow card. Stephens with room on the ball, finds Chandler on the right. And with loads of time on the right-hand side, Ford has the opportunity to score and misses from relatively 6 yards. That should have been 1-0 to St. Leonard's. Ford with time and space on the ball did not even trouble Newsom. His shot missing each and every part of the goal frame and forcing St. Leonard's to remain goalless. Score remains 0-0 in the 22nd minute. 18 more minutes to play in the first half. But there's plenty of time for a goal in this first half. I guess it depends on where does this goal come first. Another long kick. Well, one in the midfield by St. Leonard's. Referee Messiah finds an infringement, and it's a free kick to St. Leonard's. St. Leonard's so far has found most of their success, or parts of their success, on the flanks, where they're doubling up on the flanks with the wing backs and the movement of the forwards. Again, ball about to be played in by Shaquille James. A lot of air. And what was the confusion? Could have ended up being an own goal by Alexandra. There were no St. Leonard's players close to the ball, and with no communication, no direction, and no instructions from the goalkeeper, Alexandra could have conceded an own goal for what seemed like a harmless situation. Now Reid goes to take the corner from the right, again with his intelligent left foot. This could perhaps cause some problems for St. Leonard's. By his standard, that's a subpar effort by the national and the 17 player. Alexandra, as I said, seems to be contented with this score line at the moment. There's a bit of nonchalance by the defenders and the goalkeeper. And no real strategy, as I see the goalkeeper about to take another long one. Eventually, his legs will get tired. So hopefully there's a plan B by the Alexandra school. Good tussle again. 1v1, good cover challenge. And intercepted and played out. Time and space for Grant. Just 1v1 with his marker. Good recovery by the Alexandra defense. Again, whiff on the right-hand side. And Ford is having perhaps one of his worst days in the St. Leonard's uniform. He needs to show some maturity and some guts to get back in the game and help his team out. The ball seems to be, what we were saying, Bajan parents, following. Well, he was on the left-hand side and received a number of the balls. Now he's on the right-hand side, and the balls seem to continue to follow him. However, he needs to do something profitable, something efficient when he gets the ball and create something for his team, or at least keep possession. Alexandra with Nikolai Jackman, another national player, with possession. Again, Alexandra player seems to be illegally dispossessed at that time. And another chance for Alexandra to cause some problems for the St. Leonard's defense and Medford. However, the quality of the delivery or the quality of the strike on goal needs to be of a high one, because this, as I mentioned earlier, this seems to be the only opportunity that they would likely to get on the scorecard. I don't really see them create anything from open play. Captain Boyce takes it. Oh, and that did not cause any kind of panic for St. Leonard's defense or goalkeeper. Boyce would like to get that. Boyce would like to receive that one again. Boyce would like to get that one again, I bet. A player of his caliber. I remember a couple of years ago, I believe, he had transferred from Alexandra, and I believe he was at St. Leonard's, and now he's at Alexandra again. And that's a lovely ball which finds Chandler with time and space on the ball on the left. And what a brilliant delivery, but it's straight into the arms of Newsome. And you can hear Grant telling him he should have pulled it back and perhaps create a better chance of scoring. Again, Newsome not utilizing his time or the tactics of getting his team out, because they're not enough Alexandra players forward to really cause a panic. Ball goes in. Number 17, Javier Ned. And that ball is out for a goal kick. It seems like playing behind the ball. It seems like getting behind the ball and waiting for the counter is the tactic of Corbin, who's currently balling instructions at his team, because he believes that they could create chances with the runs of Ned, who would say doesn't look like the quickest of players, but with those long lanky strides like a gazelle, he seems to have the better of the two St. Leonard's centre backs. A long ball finds Chandler. Instead of going to the ball, he's well defended. That's Kero Gill, number 26, who's putting in a relatively tidy shift at the right-hand side, getting back and helping Nico Blackman on a number of occasions. See, again, so the Alexandra team lacks movement offensively. When the players in the midfield and defense get the ball, there is no real opportunity to play the ball forward. Good bit of skill again by boys. But again, no real opportunities to play the ball forward because the lack of movement, or what we say, the lack of urgency to move. Fine skill by James. Looks up, finds a player. That looks like Phillips. Made a mess. Mess of that ball to his feet, again slipping on the turf. But hopefully by second half we can get some of the scores from the other games which are currently occurring as we speak. You have Queen's College up against the Large School, Foundation Secondary School up against Comamere, and the Barbados Community College against Leicester Vaughan. So by halftime, by the resumption of the game in the second half, we will try to have those scores for you. Leonards, again, looking to build on the left-hand side with Miller. Miller finds Grant. Grant with a mistimed touch. I guess it was an attempted pass. And slipping, which could cause trouble. Brought down. Again, it's playing like a bit of tennis end-to-end. That seemed like a reckless challenge, but Messiah deemed it not. Again, time on the ball by Boys, who delightfully finds Moore, but a poor first touch. Again, Moore is found on the left. Again, with his heavily bandaged left knee, I believe he's impeded from really operating at his natural skill level, because this guy is a player who could change the game with the blink of an eye. Bad for a touch gives Alexandra the possession. Again, players slipping, sliding. Referee Masaf sees it and calls it just on the mark of the halfway line. What we say, roughly 10 meters into St. Leonard's half. The ball is with Rollins. But for what seems like to be yard pass, intercepted. Again, Stevens on the ball. Finds, well done by Young Taylor at centre back. His presence, height, and in essence his commanding figure is causing problems for the St. Leonard's boys forwards. He would need to be at his best all evening if Alexandra were to prevent St. Leonard's from scoring. Alexandra being the team in navy blue on your screen, going from right to left, and St. Leonard's in the white going from left to right. Both of these coaches know each other pretty well. They would have been teammates as well at BCC and the University of the West Indies, playing for both tertiary institutions, and they have been locked in a number of encounters together. As I said last year, they drew 2-2. Alexandra lost 3-2 after being 2-0 up, and then they drew 2-2 in school league under 16, where St. Leonard's returned and faced them in the finals and basically ripped them to shreds, 5-0 at the Wildy AstroTurf. Chandler with some fine footwork there, attracting the foul from Kiro Gill. And St. Leonard's with the opportunity here cause some mayhem in the Alexandra. But what is important to mention, or what is odd to discover, is that there are two left-footed players around the ball, which therefore means the ball will be swung out. I believe where they haven't tested Newsom as yet, they should perhaps have a right foot around the ball and cause some level of panic, especially to that near post, where he has at least 3-4 yards to make up with a dive. Ball swings out. And Rashad Grant misses the easiest of opportunities from within the 6-yard box. Perhaps using his afro instead of his forehead. That's the ball that should be hitting the back of the net with force. And I guess he'll be ruining that miss going into the half. And Messiah, being the professional he is, operating as a referee, chooses not to show his disappointment, but perhaps let it be known at half where Grant should have given St. Leonard's boys the opportunity to score. Newsom again, another attempted kick. This one is shorter. As I predicted, fatigue will creep in into his legs, and he will want halftime to come, I imagine, anything soon. We're 8 minutes away from that point at this time. Again, Chandler comes in bravely with the ball in his chest, missed kicks, and that ball rolls out for a goal kick. He could potentially hurt himself there, mistiming that kick. But he was brave enough to take the ball in his chest under the pressure of the Alexandra defender, who looks like Malik Springer. Both Niall and everyone know each other pretty well. Both players who would have came through the Mavericks program. Mavericks football club in the club arena. At this time, Rose about to take it, but I believe 3 could call for the ball, which is Malik. That's away. Well done by Niall, who's having an excellent game in midfield for St. Leonard's. Miller with time on the ball. Passing to center, intercepted. Time on the ball. Finds Grant. Grant with time on the ball. He dribbles. There's room wide for Ford. Perhaps Ford could redeem himself with a good delivery. Again, good defending by Taylor. Oh, gosh. Referee. St. Leonard's with the opportunity. Again, with another set piece. A number of unnecessary fouls have been committed by both teams. And I believe at some point, either team will feel the pinch from giving out a silly free kick. James on the ball, one of the better midfielders in the league, who could definitely supply something of quality into the area. Ball gets delivered to the back post, but at this time, he finds nothing but the goal line. Again, giving Alexandra the opportunity to breathe a sigh of relief. What I would like to see from Newsom is a bit of diversity, perhaps playing some short, playing the ball into the wing backs. But again, this is a ploy by the coach. His legs become to weaken, continue to weaken, and Alexandra are the beneficiaries of a poor touch. Cleared by Rollins. And the ball is with Boyce. That's blocked by St. Leonard's, who come away with Chandler, who plays the ball back in the midfield. Phillips finds Miller. And Miller's attempted long ball over the top is blocked by Ned, who's putting in a tidy shift at top, being the lone forward. It's not easy playing a top alone, especially being in the middle of two center backs like Rawlings and Rowe, who are very no-nonsense and quite athletic. So he will need not just Water, but perhaps some Powerade or Lucozade going into halftime. The ball finds the St. Leonard's defensive third, Medford. Attempted long cross. Finds Chandler. Ball with Grant. Grant finds Miller. Time on the ball. Miller again has the ball intercepted. Alexandra with the ball at the feet. Looks for Boyce. And Shaquille James wins the header, but he's impeded by what looks like Boyce again. James, time on the ball. Swivels. Looking for the run of Chandler. Chandler with space on the left. And his first time cross whistles over the bar And I believe both teams could do a lot better in terms of their attacking, uh, in terms of their attacking play. There seems to be no real precision, patience, or real desire to find the back in net. It's just like to create an opportunity and hope that it scores. Minutes away from halftime, the scores are locked 0-0. Again, Alexandra Secondary School in navy blue, St. Leonard's Boys School in white. The two former Combermerians combining, Grant and Chandler. Grant attempted his cross, is a bit overhit. He was looking for the run of Rashad Phillips, but there was a bit too much on the cross from Grant. Score is at this time going into half, 38 minutes and counting, 0-0. St. Leonard's in second place on 6 points, playing the Alexandra Secondary School, who are in third on 4 points, each having played 2 games previously. Messiah urging the goalkeeper to get the game going. Same time wasting, but it's a bit too early for that, as it's only the first half. Chandler showing a good bit of skill, flicks the ball on. Grant chases. Now Reid tries to win the ball in the midfield. Good work on the defensive end from Ford, who offensively hasn't been having the best game, but he redeems himself defensively. Ball into Stephens. Ball over the top, finds Grant. And Grant with the opportunity to score. And Grant scores in the 39th minute. Grant, that's 3 goals and 3 matches for Rashad Grant. A bit of confusion between Newsom and his back 4. And Grant creeps in to lob the ball over Newsom, and the ball finds the back of the net, and St. Leonard's take the league 1-0 on the stroke of halftime. That's 3 goals in 3 matches for Grant, and the change from Combermere to St. Leonard's seems to be paying dividends for both Grant and the defending champions. And as Coach Carbon from St. Leonard's grimace in disappointment, I imagine he would have been saying 0-0 into the half would have been a preferred result. But the tenacity and persistence of St. Leonard's rewarded them with a goal. And therefore, in the kickoff, you saw the frustration of team captain Boys, who I imagine attempted to shoot from the half line. But the ball ended up down by the scoreboard for a throw. Ball deep into the St. Leonard's half. And what's important to mention here is that the ball is within, let's say, 40 yards in to the St. Leonard's half. And there's no pressure coming from the Alexandra players. The midfielder is still able to show sharp for the ball. And with no pressure, St. Leonard's plays the ball out for a throw-in. So we are seconds away from halftime. A throw-in comes in from the left. And Medford drops it. It's a nervous moment coming into the end. As they tussle, there's room for a shot for Moore. He's quickly closed down. Well blocked by Stephens. And St. Leonard's gets the ball out of danger. And that is halftime. And the second half resumes here at Richmond, where you have the defending champion St. Leonard's Boys leading the Alexandra Secondary School 1-0. Goal being scored in the 39th minute by recent acquisition Rashad Grant, who is enjoying his time here at Richmond, scoring his 3rd goal in 3 matches. And St. Leonard's lead 1-0. With me is Mr. Ren Ramsey, a man of many hats. So I don't know which capacity he's in this evening, perhaps just a football connoisseur, but it's always a pleasure to have Ren watching and viewing the next best thing, or next best players in Barbados. Welcome, Ren. That's true. As I mentioned earlier, the last couple of years have been almost like a duel, a recently created rivalry between these two coaches who know each other quite well. And I remember last season, Alexandra were leading 2-0. So I somehow pulled the rabbit out the hat and won 3-2. Yeah, yeah. And even last year, St. Leonard somehow got the better of them, 5 goals to 0. Yeah, which which isn't usually the score you will hear in the final, but on that day, St. Leonard's really pulled all stops out, and Alexandra were left to lick the wounds, as we would say. That is confidence for you. That is confidence for you. Ball with Miller. Miller finds Chandler. Chandler comes inside, looks up, ball over the top, finds Phillips. Phillips, nice flicks on, finds Grant. The other opportunity, but danger is temporarily averted for the time being. And as the ball goes to the feet of Newsome, who delays a bit before picking it up. Again, Newsome continuing where he left off in the first half, just punting the ball forward, looking for the lone player up front in Ned, who's being carefully marked by centre backs Rollins, and that is the captain, Camille Rowe, who Ramsey, he was an Alexandra boy just a couple years ago, only his second year at St. Leonard's, and he seemed to attract the services of Alexandra's former custodian, Bradley Mayford, who is now in the goal for St. Leonard's. So I don't know, perhaps there's a relationship between Alexandra and St. Leonard's. Yeah, that is always the case. That's why even in the international setting, some players may get tired of being the second team or the third team. I think they're at that point that they want to receive a title. Ball headed away by Taylor. Played back again by Reid. Again away by Taylor, who's having an outstanding game for Alexandra. The ball's with Ned, but it's too far to inflict any real damage to St. Leonard's. Boys, who can unlock any defense. Oh, and he leaves James literally sitting on his behind, but firing the shot just wide. Medford has been tested just twice in the first half, both from set pieces. Both from set pieces. And I imagine that will be Alexandra's ploy if they're to get back in this game. Create some opportunities where they could attract some tackles, get some fouls, win some corners, and put St. Leonard's under a bit of pressure. Because right now, it seems to be relatively easy for St. Leonard's. Ramsey, with your connections, I imagine that you could perhaps find some of the scores from the other grounds for us. Um, we have Queens College versus Lodge, Foundation Secondary School versus the Combermere Secondary School, and Community College versus Leicester Vaughan. Again, looking for Grant with his pace and power, breaking on the left. With, again, slipping, still getting by his marker, and shoots. And that attempted right effort goes for a throw. I bet he want that one back because after cutting in from the left on his right foot, the angle suited him where he could have fired at either the near or the far post, but instead his shot went rather wide for a throw. And as Ramsey searches for those scores for us across the island, a couple of results from Monday. So you had Combermere bouncing back from a 3-0 defeat to Leicester Vaughan and handing Harrison College a 3-0 defeat. That is Harrison College's third defeat in 3 matches, and they're like at the bottom of the table of 0 points. St. Leonard's boys defeated the Lodge School 5 goals to 0. Leicester Vaughan and Christchurch Foundation School drew 0-0. And there was also a 0-all tie between Alexandra and BCC. That is Division 1 action played on Monday earlier this week. So you had Comamere winning 3-0 against Harrison College. St. Leonard's boys blanking Lodge School 5-0. Leicester Vaughan drawing 0-0 with Foundation and Alexandra and BCC finishing at a similar score, 0-0. I know your team, Ramsey, Princeton Margaret, they're playing the Division 2 part of the league. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see New Boys, the Vocational Training Board, also known as Skills Training. Yes. Yes. But that team is made up of a number of experienced players. Myself, even though they're new boys, they have boys who are quite experienced in this domain. I guess at some point we will get to feature them in our video segment. Two tertiary institutions with loads of quality. They play at the top of the box by St. Leonard's, and Newsom comes up bravely and prevents Phillips from nicking the ball and perhaps getting a goal scoring opportunity. And Newsom goes long with two players to aim at now. In the first half, he had just one, and Coach Messiah seemingly found an infringement where Newsom stepped out of the penalty area while still handling the ball. And, oh, apparently he thought he was out, but obviously with no linesman, he retracted his decision and allowed Newsom to resume play with a punt down the field. Again, another good tussle in the midfield by these two teams. A firm challenge by, well, looks like Rashad Jackman, a national under-17 player. Midfield, again by Sarah's, dispossessed by boys with Rose out of time. Yes. As if we seemingly have to get Coach Messiah his refereeing badges. He seems to be doing a fairly good job in the middle of the field. Perhaps after coaching, he will perhaps try to dibble a bit in the officiating side of things. And you, being a fellow official, you could tell us a bit about how is it on that side of the ball to speak. I imagine, as I said in football, two things that I would never do is goalkeep and referee. Those two things, goalkeep or referee. Injury. You know that is not your. So you know that's not your calling. Leonard is winning the corner here. I found Ramsey that the second half has been lacking that spunk, that zest that occurred in the first half where St. Leonard's were the aggressors. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know if it's because they're leading. But the traditional St. Leonard's teams, I know, usually when they smell blood, they go all out for the kill. So I mean, it's still early yet. Ball ends up in the arms of Newsom. Again, Newsom goes for the punt. Finds time more. Aggressive challenge. More again. And that looks like a trick from behind. That calls the ball in the other direction, looking like a throw for St. Leonard's. Ramsey, I imagine you would have made your rounds around the grounds for since the start of the competition. So you'd have seen an array of teams. I have only seen, well, this is my third match. I've seen two of Comamere, no bias, but that at that time of convenience. What has the caliber been like this time around, this year around? Because there would have been a lot of excitement building up with players moving, teams being promoted, and such. Like, what has been the general makeup like? Right. Oh yes, yes, yeah, and it did tie again 0-0. So it shows that there's nothing really between these teams. These teams, the level of competition is that high. Again, Grant shoots and Grant scores for the second time of the game, and Grant scores. Oh no, it seems to be ruled out due to a handball. Apparently, Coach Messiah, referee Messiah rather, saw an infringement. I imagine it could have only been a handball of some kind because he wasn't in the offside position, and Alexandra lived to fight another day. The ball was played in for the right hand side, controlled. Could have been on the arm. Could have been. Yes, from this angle, could have been. Yes, of course. And he ruled it as a handball. And again, it shows the professionalism of Coach Messiah. You know, he's doing, he's right now he's operating with a dual responsibility as coach of the Senators, and also a Grant is again gets away from his marker. 1v1. This is a chance for goal number 2, and he fires wide with just Newsom to beat. Goal at his mercy. Grant fires wide from 8 yards. Boyce attempted 30-yard shot, ended up with him slipping. Well, in the first half, we would have seen a lot of slipping, Ren. It could be the turf, as I mentioned. The grass might be a bit low, or the boys may have the inappropriate footwear. You know, yeah, not, in recent times, the boots are more so about fashion rather than, um, yeah, performance. Like if you look on the field now, I guarantee that you cannot identify a pair of black. Ooh, yes, yes. And this looks like a bit of panic for Senators. You had Grant going up against Newsom. You had Grant going up against Newsom for a ball that both of them would have been, at liberty to go for. It was a bouncing ball in no man's land, and Newsom came and not maliciously, of course, not maliciously, of course. Um, and it looks like Grant may be out at this point. But knowing St. Leonard's, the quality of St. Leonard's, they do have some quality replacements. On the bench, I see there's young Savio Seal, who is playing in the constituency competition for St. Michael Northwest. There's also Kobe Griffith, a young player that I watched from under 14 coming up, who could definitely hold his own at this level. So I imagine if Grant has to exit the pitch, these are two guys that can fulfill boots of Grant. Free kick to Alexandra inside their box. Again, I'm still not impressed or satisfied with the quality of the offensive movement of Alexandra. Well, got some whiff from Moore on the left hand side. I'm hoping for the best. Yes, seems to be looking for that Brit. But these three defenders, Miller, Rollins, Captain Rowe, and Captain Rowe, these three they have been very disciplined. see there. You have Rollins now on the ball. Plays the ball in the midfield for Chandler. A bit under hit. However, St. Leonard's boys recover. Forces Alexandra back. Balls with Taylor into the midfield. Time on the ball. Loft the ball into Timor, one of the more technical players on the field. I think perhaps a move to consider. A move to consider for Alexandra will be moving more, who's here on the left hand side in number 11. Yeah, more centrally. Yeah, especially in the midfield, because as you mentioned just now, there's a real tussle in midfield. And his experience, him being a national under 17 player, and he's another player who's playing in the constituency competition here on the island. He can cause some damage in the midfield. He loves to find the pockets of space, and he can really pass the ball and split defensive open. Reminds me almost kind of like a Juan Mata, David Silva type player. No, exactly. Room on the right. This looks like Ford again, who had a miserable first half. Cuts in. Taylor using those long, lanky legs to intercept the pass. Ooh, that's a reckless challenge. That ball could be, I would say, in Alexandra's favor. Correctly ruled by Coach Messiah because the Alexandra player got there first. You had that looked like Avery Chandler. Yes, and Carmero, based on the exit of Chandler and Grant, they will have to be looking to reinforce their offensive line. Again, looking for Ned. Chandler again, nick the ball away. Tries to find Grant. Ball, has a bit ball with Chandler again. Chandler finds Phillips. Phillips runs on. With Jesse goalkeeper the beat. Fires with his left foot and well saved by Newsome. He has a second crack at it. Still danger. Ball with Reid. And that looks like a what well the referee is at a distance, but perhaps we're waiting to see what is the call. And that is ruled a penalty. A penalty earned by Niall Reid after a fine save by Newsome. And from the actions ran by Messiah, he's saying that there was a trailing leg by the Alexandra. And let's wait to see who's about to take this particular spot kick. And it looks like Stevens, now Reid-Stephens. Yes, after being fouled, he picks himself up, and I trust him with the intelligence and precision of his left foot. I expect him to score. And he sends the goalkeeper the right way. Midway into the second half, 2 goals to 0. And you had Reid, who was fouled in the box initially, dusted himself off, picked himself up, and sent Newsome the wrong way, passing the ball to the right of Newsome while he dived to his left. And what do you make of this one, Ryan? Do you believe St. Leonard's could close it off from here? I agree. I agree. And an aggressive challenge there, you say, by Stevens on his national teammate more. They will know each other quite well. I'm rather concerned, however, with the heavily bandaged left knee of Moore. It seems to be impeding him somewhat out of traffic. Attempted penetrate pass. Have boys. He's gonna take his marker, and he seems to be fouled by Rollins. He seems to be fouled by Rollins. a fair bit of individual play by Captain Michael Boyce. And Rollins trying to plead his case, telling the referee he didn't touch him. That is a dive. However, the referee decision seldom changes, Ren. Seldom changes. And Alexandra have the chance to cause some panic in the St. Leonard's penalty area. Yes. Delivery will be the key. Yeah, I mean, you have Ned. I would have liked to see young Russell Taylor, number 19, that playing at the back, come up for this to add some height. You know, you also have Jackman, who right now is in the offside position. But imagine, yeah, he too is also a target with his height. And as you said, rightfully, Alexandra have the edge on height. And that's danger. And just over the goal. But I believe Medford perhaps had that covered. Having played with these guys for 5 years at Alexandra, he would have had the idea already where this guy is going to put the ball and how efficient he needs to be. And there is the ascendancy here and full control. Medford finds it on the left. That looks like Kobe Griffith, who I made mention of. We missed him. He subbed into the game, number 6. I believe that's Kobe Griffith. And St. Leonard's are attempting to make another substitute. And we're waiting a bit to get the numbers of the boys, who's in and who's out. That looks like number Kwame Maynard, and that looks like Phillips. That's out based on yeah, number 8, yeah, Phillips. That looks like Phillips. That's out. So we have Phillips out and Maynard in for St. Leonard's. Some fresh legs up front. So Alexandra. And I seems to have this small field master. That it reminds me of my Arsenal used to play at Highbury. And tradition, and as coincidental as it may be, Coach Messiah is an Arsenal fan. Yes, yes, yes. That's very important to mention. The quality of passing, or the level of passing again. You see another player going down. That's like Chandler. Boyce has failed to make any amends for that. Again, Boyce again. Looking for the ball over for Ned. And then again, fantastic defending by Rowe. He shows his dominance against the less sturdy frame of Ned. I think Ned has the edge on him in terms of well done. Easy step by Rowe. Rowe, yeah, very composed. Can't help but say the St. Leonard's defense has been immaculate today. They've not put a foot wrong all evening. They haven't put a foot all over the top. Well won by Jackman. A tussle in midfield again. One of many. Ball falls with Rollins. Compose. First touch letting him down. Miller tries to rescue in. Again, Miller steps in. Rash. A rash challenge fired. Good pace and power on that one. I believe at the goal, we could have had a score of 2-1. But that was perhaps Alexandra's best try in the second half, and that chance came from Andrea Clark, firing a powerful right booter to the aid of Medford. That ball didn't come anywhere close to goal. While you find that change, while we identify that change, Ren, some important results in the Champions League. Man City. And that's a shot coming in. Yes, straight at Medford. Outstanding delivery. A poor first touch. And that forces him to change his boots. I imagine he's using the boots there as the reason for his poor first touch. Chapman receives. Slips. Ooh. Fine move by Boys. Boys try to shoot again. But you could see the intentions of Captain Boys. You can see that he's trying to take the game by well on his arm, so to speak, as a captain. He's trying to get some shots in, perhaps telling himself that his good friend Medford will show some level of sentiment and give his old school a goal. But so far, Medford shows where his loyalty lies. More. And you see the different more moves into the midfield. Oh. And what should have been a one-time cross? Causes some panic. You have the defenders running back. You have the forwards running on. If it strikes the wrong person, it could end up in the back of the net. Exactly. But as we were mentioning just now, Ren, Arsenal 6, Ludogorets Razgrad nil. Arsenal showing dominance again. After a shaky start to their campaign, where everyone was saying Arsene Wenger needs to go, he has been putting in the results. He's undefeated in the last 4 games in the Premier League, and then turns up and scores 6 goals today. Yes, he scored in his last 4 matches. Last 4. And a chance, but the ball is already ruled outside beyond the goal line. We had PSG 3, Basel nil. Napoli losing to Besiktas. But the big one, the very big one, Pep schooled by his students. Yes. Oh boy, yeah. A poor return to the new camp. Grant with time on the ball, muscled off the ball. Yes. 4 goals to nil. That is the score line between Barcelona and Man City. And no one would have seen that coming. Not 4-0. Yes. Oh yes, and then there's yes, again you have that seems like Taylor. Yeah. So we have gotten those scores from the Champions League. I imagine some of those cool matches that we spoke about earlier are still going on. So as we get those, yes, ball falls with Stevens, lofted in midfield, no man's land, or to no play rather. That ball finds more to Jackman. Jackman attempts to play the ball into the wide left midfielder, however, that's intercepted by Leonard. Ball goes in to Boys. Tidy flick on by Chapman tries to go through the player rather than around him. That's and that looks like a St. Leonard's. Yes, that looks like a ball off of St. Leonard's as the tackle was committed. As the tackle was committed by that looks like Kwame Maynard. That's another sub. You have Chandler making his exit, and young Savio Seal making his entrance. Again, that's Chandler out, Seal in, and Alexandra with a lone throw. Ball gets throws in, ball into boys, but with no avail. And this game may be running a bit later than usual, the late start. However, the quality has not been disappointing. The boys have tried to put a quality showing for the late start. Um, Not a customary action of the competition. However, these things do happen. But nevertheless, the football must play in the interest of the boys and of the interest of football development. And I mean, as we all know, despite football being the most popular and populated sport, it doesn't fall in the priority of sports, so to speak. You know, we rival with athletics and cricket. It is king, as we say here. And as you know, athletics, well, when you see Bisat, you have the idea. Ooh, and you see, again, more shoots. And that ball, that score. Did it score? I see the net shake. I saw the net shake. That was a close one. We'll definitely need television replay for that one. But based on, but again, as you and I were saying, again, you had more being the supplier. Moving into the center of the park, we need to get him. Again, they try to find more again. Send him and go. Good pass to the outside. That one runs out of play. That ball runs out of play. Perhaps if Williams had opened up his body a bit quicker. Yeah. Alexandra playing with a bit more zest, a bit more urgency. Yes. A tactic which has been employed from the get go because now, as we say, we wait until the horse get away to pull it back. That looks like a foul. And a foul suffered by St. Leonard's. Mayford steps up, attempting to go along. He encourages his defense up, and this is the difference between the teams, the players and the tactics. He pushes the players up because he knows he's going long, and exactly. And again, the boys, as though they're wearing sandals, the ball breaks for St. Leonard's again with the left. Can this be goal number 3? And this is the goal number 3. An easy save for Newsom. Good defending, looking like Jackman in the left back position. I think Boyce has now moved in to forward into a forward position as center forward. Uh, Good tenacity by Alexandra. A reckless challenge by number 23. That's looking like substitute Jalen Jilts. He has, ooh, mistimed. Tries to find his player. Ooh, and that's a hefty challenge coming in. That looks like Malik Springer. Ooh, I think fairly tough on his opponent there and concedes a corner. There's no real urgency by St. Leonard's to take the corner. They're leading 2 goals to 0. And I reckon, yeah, I reckon there could be just around 8 minutes to play in this particular game. Light permitting, of course, but I believe the natural light we have shall survive until the end of the game. Reid plays the ball in. Into the back post, no one there. Alexandra releases it temporarily. Ball breaks. However, Newsome finds the ball and attempts to go along, but I imagine if he saw Casper there, because there was no one for the Alexandra school. Alexandra breaking, boys. He's going solo. He shoots an excellent save by Medford. Medford comes up big. Organizing and screaming at his defenders. And that's their first defeat, I imagine. Yes. And with this score line, ooh, and Alexandra tries to build here. It seems this game is getting a bit scrappy. So now players falling to the ground and preferring the slide tackle rather than staying on their feet and being disciplined. And that could be pretty dangerous. That held down, played nicely by Reid. A good bit of skill. Ball played by Shabby. Ball back to Reid. Nice and simple. So now just content to keep in possession. Reid finds, yes, Reid finds the long pass. Ball goes in behind Springer with time on the ball. Tries to find Newsome. A dangerous player, I mean, seeing the quality of the surface, that's a dangerous ball back. More muscled off the ball, characteristically. Kill. Ball settles, a bit of confusion again. A firm challenge. Ball goes over the top. Ball's in. And Medford wheels his box, well read, as he averts danger with a left-footed clearance. But just now you saw an excellent save by Medford, who gave a firm block to the left-footed strike by Michael Boyce. And in that instance, despite not having much to do anything to do for the entire period, he was infuriated with the quality of defending. Yeah. And there you have it, folks. St. Leonard's showing that home drums definitely beats Loudis with a 2-0 victory over Alexandra Secondary School. You had goals from Rashad Grant in the first half and a second half penalty by Niall Reid-Stephens to wrap things up for St. Leonard's boys. And Ramsey, the defending champions, are off to a perfect start. And what we're seeing here, this is something I have always enjoyed to see. Even though it may seem like just a formality, boys having a shirt off there, that's not something we're accustomed to. Showing the camaraderie, the sportsmanship, the level of professionalism, that despite the result, we are still all one group of players, one aiming for the same thing, which is improvement and betterment.